Good evening and welcome to Inmates For Change. My name is Jones. I'm the founder, CEO of the 501c3 not-for-profit Inmates For Change. We offer reentry services for individuals who are returning home from incarceration and also individuals who are in the community with felony convictions in their background who are having a very hard time reintegrating back into gainful employment, vocational training, as well as even the education component. Inmates for Change, our motto is breaking the bondage of destructive thinking, and I like to add one mind at a time. We also offer a 6-week to 24-week classroom curriculum entitled Path to Purpose. It's a rehabilitative education curriculum initiative that introduces participants to critical thinking, interpersonal interaction, self-image. We offer behavior modification. We introduce the individuals to spiritual connectedness and God consciousness. And we also round it out with vocational training linkage. Tonight we'll be talking about what's holding me back. What's holding me back is the topic for tonight about individuals who seemingly cannot turn the corner on their previous lifestyle or their high-risk lifestyle, and some of the reasons why individuals have made it too tough on themselves and they find themselves being held back. What we're going to do is we're going to start off with the number that you can reach us as we're doing the conversation, 312-738-1060. Let me repeat it, 312-738-1060. When I speak about what's holding me back, some of the bullet points in my conversation tonight will be fear, friends and family, or friends or family, confusion, unrealistic expectations, and self-image. So let me start with the fear factor first. As returning citizens and individuals with substance abuse issues as well as felony convictions in their background, we have a tendency to have a fear of failing as well as a fear of success. And how that's intertwined is an individual who's coming home or he's facing these challenges, I should say he or she in this case, finds this fear being prevalent as a result of they want to do good so bad that failure would almost wipe them out, that type of thing. So what we're offering with tonight's topic is how to overcome some of these destructive thinking patterns in our mind. First of all, we were not endowed as spiritual beings going through a human experience with the spirit of fear. Fear is a man-made entity as well as invention about society and expectations and trying to live up to the highest marks. So what's holding me back? Why can't I reintegrate successfully back into community, my family, gainful employment, or even my community? You know, I'm being held back because of a fear, not only that a stigma, but I'm also fearing success because I know if I start doing good at this, everyone's going to have their hand out about can they get a piece of the pie, that type of thing, which is fearful for individuals who have no intent on trying to come clean and change their lives and repair some of the wreckage of their past. There's also a fear of accountability and responsibility. Now, being accountable is I'm expected to be somewhere or to pay a bill or something to that effect, and I don't because, for whatever reason, I can blame it on anything I choose to, but I'm going to use it to duck the accountability. Responsibility is knowing that I need to be doing something that I need to be doing as opposed to what I want to do. And whose lives are at stake when I make these decisions? So this is the kind of stuff that's holding me back. I hear a lot of times with my client base where they're saying, this is all that I know, Jones. You know, this is all I know. Well, it's not all you know. It's basically what you're focusing on. And unless you give yourself a chance to start from the beginning and work your way up, it won't take you longer than you think that it will if you apply yourself. Think of it as an exercise program or even a relationship along the lines of being intimately involved with someone. When you first meet these individuals, you've got to go through a feeling out process, the introduction process. Then there's a honeymoon phase. Behind that, now that we've gotten something in similar comparisons, now we can start moving toward planning something. It's the same way in coming back and breaking out of this mold of my thinking about what's holding me back. I need to know that if I keep doing what I'm supposed to be doing, that things are going to get better. I have to believe that. And I have to step out on faith knowing that as long as I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing, change is upon me. It's going to come. Let's move right on into friends and family. What's holding me back about friends and family in most cases are expectations and my history. Now, our families know us from the time that we're little bitty scrappers up and through our adulthood and all of the stuff in between. So what's holding me back as far as family, one of my clients said this the other night, and when he goes around his family and he's telling them about this change that he's undergoing and this kind of thing, they say this: we know you. No, we know you. You can sell that stuff down the street. We know you. And with that history, they seem to have low expectations of him becoming something better because he's been holding himself back by way of lying, cheating, manipulating, and this type of thing every time they put their trust in him. So we find ourselves being held back out of the thinking patterns that we're having inside of our head. I know that they expect me to fail, so I'm just going to go on and fail, if that's what's expected, and then they'll get off my back. Well, that doesn't do anything but just open up another can of worms for you, where they're like, why don't you do something? You haven't done anything for such and such time. Now that's your history again. And you still seem to be stuck on the same old stupid. We have to understand that when an individual is coming home from after being incarcerated, it's a traumatizing experience. You can be in one of the best facilities that they have where they probably don't even have a gang presence, but just the physical incarceration of being separated from your family, from people in your neighborhood, and this type of thing, and childhood friends and that kind of thing. When you're back home, it's almost traumatizing trying to reintegrate because you don't remember the people, but the ones you do remember, it was so long ago, even if it wasn't but 18 months. A lot has changed. Those of you who would like to join the conversation, we're at 738-1060, and the area code is 312. For those of you who would like to catch up with us by way of phone call, website, or email, we're at Inmates For Change, 773-746-3075. That line is open from 9:30 a.m. until 3:30 p.m. Monday through Friday. The website is at wix.com/inmatesforchange.org. And the email is being accepted at inmatesforchange@gmail.com. I'm going to move ahead with the conversation, and we're going to touch on a couple of other topics with what's holding me back. Along the lines of being incarcerated myself, I am a convicted felon, and I also have served prison time. And with that, when I came back, it was a complete shift of what I had left. Once I got back around the old friends, it just didn't feel the same. They didn't look the same. I knew I was looking different because I had been 2.5 years removed from drugs and alcohol and heavy sugar and hot sauce and fried food and that kind of thing. So I was built up, and I'm slim in the waist and looking like I'm taking care of myself and that kind of thing. I'm clear-eyed, my skin is cleared up, and everyone who was around me was looking like the Walking Dead because I ran with a rough crowd. So coming home was one of the things that I knew I needed to reintegrate myself into very quickly. I knew that my people would be watching me from afar because I couldn't be trusted while I was in my madness. And I probably hurt more people than I'm even conscious of. And, you know, that's the kind of thing that we go through when we come back home. You know, the individuals who we're back around have not forgotten who left. They're not sure about who came or who's coming back or who came back, but they are absolutely sure about who left. And if they're picking those wounds from where I stole the flat screen TV or I messed up the mortgage money or I wrecked a couple of cars and that kind of thing, I couldn't go to work, I've lost these good positions and that type of thing, it's going to take some time to win them back. But I know that I can break the bondage of the destructive thinking by learning how to start my life over. And I tell individuals as well as my clients or anyone who will listen at most points, I need to get back around people who have been successful at changing their lives and working their way back. When I wanted to join the gangs, I got around the gang members. I didn't get around the guys who were trying to be gang members. I got around the guys who were officially gang members. When I wanted to learn how to do my criminality, I got around individuals who knew about criminality. Same thing if I wanted to learn how to fix cars. I would have to get around mechanics who are qualified to fix cars. It's the same way back when we're thinking about what's holding me back. But do I want to have the energy, the patience? Do I want to have the motivation? Do I need to drive? Man, you know, I want to work somewhere. How are you going to work somewhere when you can't even figure out where you're headed? So what's holding me back? Confusion, I mentioned. You know, what am I supposed to be doing? What's expected of me? What do I really want to do? You know, I've got clients in my caseload that have no idea where they want to be 5 years from now or how to get there. They've got these vague notions of I just want a job and, well, what kind of job are you looking for? I don't know, just any kind of job, you know. Well, no, you need to be specific. You need to know exactly what it is that you would like to try to do. You need to learn what the requirements are to do what it is that you're trying to do. And you need to understand what salary is and how I need to change my language as well as reinvent myself. I need to learn this stuff as I'm going through so that I don't keep holding myself back. The confusion of what's expected of me. Let me keep it simple. You're supposed to be stepping up. That's what's expected of you. Stepping up. You've been a bum in the family for who knows how many years. Now it's time for you to step up. When we were kids, our mothers used to brag about us being so smart. 3 years old, know our ABCs, can count up to 20. They know their colors. They can tie their shoes and all this kind of thing. Around the time we got to be about 9 to 12 years old, we started getting corrupted by the influences of what life offers and our change from childhood into puberty and adolescence as well as young adulthood. And we got into a point where you couldn't almost tell us anything. You know, you could barely ask us something. And behind that, the stuff that we learned as children is the stuff that we're going to be trying to get back to if we can ever shake what's holding me back. I've got a caller on the line, and caller, what I want you to do, if you don't mind, is tell me who you are and let me know what your contribution is.
Yes, sir. This is Ray, Mr. Jones.
Hey, Ray, how are you, sir?
You're fine, and you?
Great, I'm doing well. Thanks for asking.
All right. You know what? People, when they come out of prison, they need to be shown some love, especially from their family. But if the family doesn't show them any love, they go back into the streets. Why? Because they think the gangs or whatever they're with, that first of all, that's why he went in, show him love.
Yeah.
I don't care what he does. When he comes out, show him some love. You were lucky. You know, my brother was lucky because they were shown love when they came back.
I get
so right away, you know, they didn't have to worry about the system. They didn't have to worry about how they got in trouble. They worried about being loved. And believe me, I get a little shook up about this, but that's what people need, love.
Thanks,
not
Ray.
Hatred, you know, not hatred or anything else. Thank you.
Thank you. And that, you know something, I'm going to comment on that. That's a great comment that you made there. One of the things that holds us back with family are the expectations that I mentioned earlier and our history. Keep in mind, Ray, everyone who was affected by our sickness and our disease, as well as our actions and our behavior, they hadn't forgotten. And a lot of times, an individual went to prison, was on vacation. So let's say you're in prison and you're at one of the better places that they have a treatment center and they offering rehabilitative and behavior modification type curriculum, that kind of thing, and you're learning this stuff and you come back and you're a changed man. Well, the people who we left in our wake didn't get all of that. They're still working from, you stole the flat screen TV, I don't trust you, and I don't know if I like you because I know I love you, you're my brother and that kind of thing, or you're my sister and that kind of thing, but not only did you bring shame to the family, you know, you got this stigma attached to us, and we all went to jail because something changed in the house when you left. And it's a lot of animosity, a lot of envy, and there's also just some unresolved issues that be going on. So we have to keep in mind, Ray, showing a brother love is a lot of times, some families are able to do that. You know, they've got a very supportive group, and in some cases the foundation is strong, and you've got these morals that you were instilled with as a kid coming through, and you did something or got caught up in something, and not only did it shake your world, it shook the foundation of the family a little bit, but they're there to help you come across. Now, for those individuals, what's holding you back may be along the lines of, what do I really want to do? You know, you come home, you got this X on your back, you got this parole requirement that you have to go through all the time, you got this stigma that's attached to it, you seem to never be able to outrun this felony conviction. There are policies and companies today that won't hire you because of your felony conviction, this type of thing, so that makes it kind of tough with you. If you were one of the individuals who didn't have a lot of schooling coming through, because the streets were the bigger attraction for you, you got maybe a 5th, 6th grade comprehension level, and you're a grown adult. So you've got these challenges in front of you, and then you want to know what really do I want to do? What can I do? And when we find those individuals who are saying that along the lines of my case management and experience, individuals don't know what they want to do. They want to take some low-level position, maintenance, or warehouse, or labor in construction sites and that type of thing. Well, that's back-breaking work, and it might work fine for an individual between the ages of 20 and 35 years old. But when they get long in the tooth, like Jones here, you know, you don't want to be lifting 40-pound boxes and carrying ladders and that kind of thing. You know, you would hope to be somewhere in a supervisor mode or customer service or management trainee. But if you didn't get your education while you were coming through, or you were in your madness, and when you were away serving your term, that possibility wasn't put forth out there for you, you're kind of stuck. And now you're like, well, what's holding me back? I don't have a way out. I don't know how to become what I hoped to be because I'm confused. So it's a lot more to it than just showing an individual love, because I'm going to tell you this, along the lines of Inmates for Change, if you're not genuinely serious about trying to change your life, don't bother with me, because I'm not going to bother with you. I'm not going to waste time on an individual that has a cavalier attitude and they're just going through the motions thinking that they're going to get something free. I'm not going to give you a bus pass if all you're going to do is come in here and sleep. If you're not going to be involved in what we're doing with the curriculum, if you're not working toward change, if you're not journaling, if you're not letter writing, if you're not taking some kind of self-improvement classes or learning how to work a computer, if you're not doing that, leave me alone. And that's cut and dry. I can't get any plainer than that, because I'm genuinely driven for the individual that is truly trying to change their lives. I'm not trying to save the world. Just the individual that know they want this stuff. Everybody that I know needs it. In my demographic, everyone needs it. But not everyone wants it. And my thing is, the guy who wants it is the one I'm going to reach out and grab and try to pull in and give them something to what God gave me to give to them. Those of you who'd like to join the conversation, we're at 312-738-1060. Again, 312-738-1060. Let me take a moment and get us a little bit of pub going again. Inmates for Change, we're at 773-746-3075. That line is open Monday through Friday from 9:30 a.m. until 3:30 p.m. If you'd like to take a peruse at our website, wix.com/inmates inmatesforchange.org. And of course, email is being accepted at inmatesforchange@gmail.com. Moving on with what we're speaking about tonight, what's holding me back? We also have a thing that holds us back. It's called unrealistic expectations. We have situations where individuals think that they're going to hit the lottery. You know, they're going to hit the lottery for this 20 million or 200 million, whatever the number might be, and then they're going to get their life started. So they're hedging their bets on a gamble. Well, on the back of the card, if you ever took the time to read it, your chances of winning are 1 in 141 million to 1. Good luck with that. There's also the big dreamer. This is what's holding him back. You know, he wants to be all this kind of stuff out there in the world, and man, you know, I know something about that, and I know, but you won't go and apply yourself. I've seen individuals who are real great at putting together lyrics for raps and that kind of thing, which is the popular thing amongst our youth. Fine. Go to a talent show. Get involved. Go somewhere where they're doing it so that you can get it started. Don't just sit around in your house or in the basement or in your bedroom thinking that you're putting all these raps together and Snoop Dogg or Eminem are going to come knocking on your door out of all the places where they are. What would bring them to your house, and you're the only one to know that you're putting all this stuff together in your laboratory. So we have to think realistically about coming back from what's holding me back. It's inside of my head. Whether I'm right or I'm wrong, or whether I believe I'm right or whether I believe I'm wrong, either way, I'm right. Our mind does not make up what is the plus or minus about what our decision is. That comes through our subconscious. And in the subconscious, everything is just neutral. It takes the same energy to become a success as it does to take to become a failure. The same energy. So we have to think about what's holding me back. And when we work along the lines of self-image, we need to be concerned about how much do I value myself? How long am I going to keep doing what I've been doing and expecting a different result? What happens when my caller came earlier, Ray, when my family don't show me love? What am I to do? Should I just try to get back out there on the corner and grind again and end up back in prison again, or maybe even shot and hurt, paralyzed from the chest or the waist down, and serving time behind that? Or should I be trying to do something better with my life because I already know what the end result of the life I had chosen that was high risk and all kind of in the darks kind of stuff, covert activities. I already know where that led me. That got me locked up. I brought shame to the family. My life stopped. We have to think about these things. With my self-image, where's my confidence? Why don't I feel that I'm created in the Creator's image? Those of us who have some type of scriptural background. It tells us in Genesis that God said, let's create them in our image. And what that means is that we are actually spiritual kings. But if we don't believe it, we'll never achieve it. Again, breaking the bondage of destructive thinking. That's the mission statement for Inmates for Change. Along the lines of self-image, we may even ask ourselves, do I deserve better? Do I deserve the better things in life? Well, why won't I get them? Why do I feel inside of my head that because I've got this X on my back, I can't make it through? Ladies and gentlemen, I am a 4-time convicted felon. I've been arrested 53 times since my 21st birthday. I've been in rehab 6 times. Today, I'm the founder CEO of a 501c3 not-for-profit. I'm a mentor. I do motivational and empowerment speaking. I take the time to do what I need to do to make sure that I can get where I'm trying to go. We're coming to a close on this session tonight. I just want to take a moment and say to you all, thank you first of all for listening in. But here's a quick message for you guys. This program has been made possible in part by support from the professionals at Mobile Doc. My name is Jones, and I am the founder CEO of the 501c3 not-for-profit Inmates For Change. We are breaking the bondage of destructive thinking by offering reentry services for individuals who are returning home from incarceration and those of you who are in the community who have felony convictions in your background. Thank you for listening in tonight and the viewership. Thanks for calling in, Ray. And you all have a great night, and God bless. See you next time.